Things continue to not go particularly well for Rudy Giuliani, who I guess now we have to say is Donald Trump's former lawyer. Do we know for sure? It seems at this point he really isn't Trump's lawyer anymore. YouTube said yesterday that they have suspended Rudy Giuliani from the monetization program on YouTube, which allows you to make money from ads on your YouTube channel. The David Pakman Show YouTube channel is part of that program, and it is a revenue source for us, which has gone up and down. We have also had our trials and tribulations with that same program. Why was Rudy Giuliani suspended from that program? Because he broke YouTube's rules by sharing election misinformation. And what's funny is it's not just that Rudy was sharing election disinformation. He was creating election disinformation. We actually reviewed some of his so-called podcast episodes on some recent live streams. And he was not just signal boosting. He was actually a nexus, a catalyst of a lot of that information. The suspension from YouTube's monetization program for Rudy is going to last at least 30 days, and it started last week, according to YouTube. Now, I think it's very important to understand, again, with this, there are lots of people who are saying that's Google. Google owns YouTube. Google's anti-right-wing bias. If you've been watching this program for any period of time, you know we've also had problems with YouTube monetization. Early on, when we were talking about coronavirus, long before most of our colleagues were taking it seriously, we were fully demonetized on anything relating to coronavirus. Eventually, YouTube realized it seems this COVID thing is going to be here for a while. So we are going to allow that content to be monetized. There was a while where I wouldn't say the word coronavirus. I would say COVID-19, because there was a period of time where COVID-19 wouldn't get you demonetized, but coronavirus would. There are times where the YouTube algorithm has demonetized my content denouncing extremism and white supremacy because it couldn't distinguish it from content promoting extremism and white supremacy. We had Adpocalypse in 2017, where my entire channel was deemed dealing with issues too sensitive to qualify for any monetization. And in April of 2017, we experienced a 99 or greater % loss of ad revenue. There were days we made 30 cents on YouTube. So anybody saying that YouTube is only going after right-wing channels, I am proof and evidence that that has absolutely not been the case. YouTube widely and proactively announced you can't do the election disinformation. That content is not allowed. You can't allege that there was widespread fraud that changed the outcome of the 2020 or really any presidential election. Discussions of election results are allowed. Content based around debunking false claims of fraud are fortunately allowed. But spreading the disinformation is not allowed. Now, Rudy can appeal the suspension. He can reapply to the program in 30 days if he removes the underlying issues. Rudy Giuliani did not respond to a request for comment from NBC. So it's not a good week for Rudy. Demonetized on YouTube, sued for defamation by Dominion Voting Systems for $1.3 billion. He says he will be filing a countersuit against Dominion. And that, of course, remains to be seen. I'm getting the sense, and I'm curious to hear what you think, that Rudy is probably going to kind of evaporate and go off into the ether with Donald Trump completely silent in the week since he left office. And with Rudy just taking shots left and right and now getting demonetized on YouTube. I don't know Rudy's financial situation, but my guess is he's not going to be that worried about not making money off of his weird YouTube videos anymore, and that he's just, he's in his mid-70s. My thought is he's ready to retire and may just kind of ride off into the sunset. Maybe I'm wrong and we'll continue to follow it, but those alleging that this is evidence of some right-wing, anti-right-wing bias from YouTube, the David Pakman Show YouTube channel, an experience in counterpoints to that claim. One of our sponsors today is Trivia Star, a free trivia game for mobile devices with over 60 different trivia categories, including things I know you would love, like geography, history, science, many other great topics, movies, sports, food. I've been having a bunch of fun with it because I, as the player, get to choose the category. So I'm only answering questions on topics I'm interested in. There are over 1,000 different levels to progress to, over 10,000 different questions, which get harder over time. So it gets more and more interesting as you play. If you love trivia like I do, I remember the days pre-virus of going out to trivia at a bar, and you want a fun way to keep yourself sharp. Check it out. Really well-designed game, 4.9 star rating, and the #1 rated mobile trivia game in the world. It's totally free. Just go to the Apple and Android App Store and search for Trivia Star.